Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the performance of the AGL Piccolo and Gohan and basically how good they are as a free-to-play unit at 100% in the hidden potential system. Now Piccolo and Gohan are a free-to-play unit. They obviously have come out with the revamped Greatest Warrior missions. So they're a pretty cool unit. All in all, their kit is actually very interesting. So how it actually works is you can see they get attack and defense for every Saiyan Saga or Earthbred Fighters unit. What this means is it means that units that hit both categories will count twice. So for example, if you have a unit that is Saiyan Saga and Earthbred Fighters, you will officially get both of the buffs, which is pretty important. Now obviously as a unit they do have quite a bit of conditional requirements to make them pretty good. You have a team that's pretty much all Saiyan Saga and all Earthbred Fighters. You need to have a team that has a Goku on it so you can activate the additional damage reduction. Like, it's not just super simple to just run them. With that being said, the unit is actually very impressive. They raise attack and defense permanently on their super attack. They have built-in additionals, which is really good. They have obviously a lot of incredibly solid mechanisms that they have, and they can put out some pretty good damage. Just depends basically on them and like how your team build caters to them. They actually are a really solid tanky unit that can actually just tank really well. They put out some good damage, they have really good defense. They're just a very useful unit. Like, yes, they are very limited, but for a free play unit they actually operate at an incredibly high level, which I think overall is very good. All in all, the big things that hold them back are their category requirements, which obviously is kind of simple to understand. And then of course their link set. Their link set is very unique. They have things like Sea Fighters, Courage, Shattering the Limit, etc. It's not a terrible link set, but there's just something to keep in mind, because obviously, you know, when you look at them functionally as a unit, that link set is going to be something that you have to work around or understand when you are trying to use that unit properly. Of course, all of their abilities do come together quite nicely. Like, I will say they are a very solid unit. I think they are a very good unit. Like, defensively they can get up to speed very quickly. They start off at around like the 200k mark, which isn't terrible, but then they really kick off and they can end up like well over 1 million defense. I'd say relatively quick. It's not like they're stacking defense at an insane level, but I think they are still building it pretty quickly. Like, they can very quickly go from like 200k to like 400k in just 1 or 2 turns pretty much. It does depend obviously on where you put them. Depends obviously on how many super attacks they get. For build, I went majority additional. Just felt like the right build to go for me. But it's just going to depend on who you. It just depends basically on how you imagine seeing them. Obviously, as a free play unit, they do somewhat have their limits. Like, I wouldn't say they are an absolute beast throughout the entire game. There will be stages where they don't build up quickly enough. But just considering how good they are and how quickly they build up and just how good they are in general, I think overall I'm very impressed with them. Like, I think for me, when you consider everything they bring to the table, I think they are actually very solid. So yeah, that's just my opinion. Obviously to each their own, but I genuinely find them to be pretty impressive and pretty useful overall. Like, they do actually come together really nicely. They have a good kit. They have very solid link sets. They're probably the most surprising unit out of all of these, like, free-to-play units that are released with the Greatest Warrior Goku. I will say they are definitely the most limited, but it's nice that they can be so good. Of course, that is dependent on you building an entire team of only of only Saiyan Saga and Earthbird Fighters units. But considering the whole team meets that requirement, it's not that insane to see. I think for me it's just really fun to see a unit like this, to see the way it all comes together. I think it is a pretty cool, pretty interesting idea and concept of a unit. I think the way the unit can be defensively sound is great for players to carry basically through a ton of content. So yeah, gotta be honest, I think it's pretty good stuff. Of course, yeah, to each their own. I think ultimately for me, just a cool unit. Link-wise, I do think things get a little bit difficult for them. As I mentioned before, they have certain links like Courage, Sea Fighters. They're just not incredibly common links. Like, they're just not links you're gonna find everywhere. So it's not like you can just link these guys up with pretty much anyone. Of course, they do have sharing the limit, and they do have some built-in key. So it's not like also too difficult to use them. I will say, if you want to get the best out of them, you do probably need to cater to their links a little bit. Unfortunately, a lot of the free-to-play units that we mentioned earlier do have some pretty good links that mesh really well with them. So yeah, that's basically what I would say. Of course, it's just entirely up to you on what you're going to run. But for me, they're a pretty cool unit, and I really like everything that they have, like how it all comes together. And yeah, I think they're definitely worth running. Link leveling and all that, you do get something out of it. Obviously, it depends on your view on free-to-play units. But I would say that that's pretty much it from me. Of course, if you do need any more help, let me know. Or let me know what you think about this batch of free-to-play units and this new team that's come out with Goku. I think overall, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.